What's going on?
How's it going, man?
Good. Just got here. How's it going, brother?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for coming out, man.
Yeah, it's great to see you guys again.
Yeah. You see that ship over there?
The ship? Yeah, I see the ship. I saw someone with a sword or
Maybe I just use that.
something. How's it going? Good to see you.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, this is kind of quiet compared to that.
Great to see you, brother.
See, Franco, get yourself a shirt.
Huh? Shirt? How much? How much?
Free.
Oh shit, really?
That's what the GoFundMe for was making sure.
Oh my god.
They said, like, we're asking people for donations. I don't care if they give me a penny. Like, you know, these are paid for.
Sweet.
Medium's gonna go so fast, though. I think we got literally only one medium left.
You got a
Oh
large?
snap, I got the second to last one.
You want to pick me out a good large?
Got you, fam.
Hi guys, how's it going? Good to see you.
Hey, I want to tell you, great job. Those photos that you shared in front of those videos.
Oh, sorry. It's the thumbnail that YouTube chose.
Yeah, where I was sitting there making fun of AOC and I was baking crazy.
Oh, and you're like-
Yeah, thanks, man.
Sorry.
YouTube does that. It like always picks out the most awkward photos. You're like,
Should I choose another one? Okay, I'll choose when I get home.
oh my
Sorry
God.
about that.
That's fine.
You guys want to say hi to people watching? You guys? Okay.
What do you want me to say?
Whatever you want to say, like, you can say hi to people, or, you know, what brings you guys here today at the End of Wars protest.
Hi everybody. The reason that I'm out here, and me personally, I'm out here with the People Party to support everybody, is because my dad actually went to Vietnam. He was exposed to Agent Orange, and his primary diagnosis when he died. So I really found out that for so I'm out here to support everybody, and my family members. I'm a mother of 4 boys, and it frightens me that, you know, one of my boys might be so as a mother, a daughter, a granddaughter, I'm here to support my family and support everybody else out here that our support is different. You know, we work with the Women for People's Party. My name is Amy Day, I'm executive director there. We came out to support this event because, you know, so much money is spent on wars, so much imperialism.
Yeah.
America is involved in every country. It has a military base in nearly every country.
Yeah.
Countries deserve economy, and we deserve Medicare for all. We deserve housing for all. We deserve, right now, it's one of the wealthiest countries in the world, and our people are suffering and dying. And we, instead of spending money on the industrial complex and the Pentagon and war, we should be spending money on our tax dollars should go to our needs in this country. And we are compounding misery across the world. We have dropped, and the Democrats, you know, have dropped more bombs in the Obama administration. Biden was VP,
Yeah.
then Trump dropped his entire term. So, you know, we've got a party majority. Both parties are the same. Both are warmongers. Both are paid for by the same military-industrial complex. So we're out here today to say no more and to stand with these folks who have organized all of this in solidarity.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Cody's going to be here in 30 minutes and the meeting's going to be here in 20 minutes.
Awesome. Hey, great to see you. Hi. In here.
Oh, okay, we follow each other. Oh, that's good. Let's finish it. Yeah, I love that.
Hey Paula, how's it going? Good to see you. Gotta connect the issues, right?
Antagonistic.
You did
Great
such
to
a
see
great
you.
job on the Capitol.
Oh, thank you.
That was so awesome. It's hard to stand up and be the lone.
In front of a bunch of people who are sycophants for them. Yeah.
Yeah, little sheeple.
Yeah.
That somebody had to do it, and that's why showing up is so important. Because
Yeah.
You're kind of a thorn. You're like, guys.
It felt like the Twilight Zone. The way.
Oh, I'm sure it did. You were like, but you know what? I bet you're better prepared now, aren't you?
Yeah.
After having gone through the fire and that, you go, holy shit, you know. So
Yeah.
the
It
more
was.
often you do that,
Yeah, it's not as bad.
you did great.
Yeah.
And you did great with the whistleblower day, with the Jordan and Josh and Kobe. That was
Yeah.
really nice. Was Josh there or just Kobe?
No, Kobe was there. Josh
Kobe
didn't
was there.
go.
He did the
Yeah.
chalking. It was nice that you got them to march, and that gave it life, you know, because
Yeah.
with 3 or 4 people, you don't have an action.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was nice that we went in front of the Natural Museum
Good, I
and
watched
started
the
try to
whole-
raise
I
awareness
watched the
there.
whole video.
Yeah.
I did. I mean, it was like, it was good. It was a good action.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to do more. Yeah. But yeah, for sure, these issues are, they're all connected.
I figured we just put them out, you know?
Yeah.
Right. This one's hard to hang, so.
That one needs to be, and it doesn't drape very well because it distorts his face. As long as people can get around his table and that, because
Doesn't matter whether you're Republican or Democrat, any incumbent, it's one person's death.
And how do you feel later, Dave? How do you feel about speaking?
Speaking? I'll think about it. I don't have anything prepared. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll see what everybody else says. And then I'll see. You're speaking?
You gotta give them an incentive. Quid pro quo. Legislation on the president's desk, they can get reelected. Send you some more information. Here with Dr. King. Identify those.
So there's a festival going on, like on the street, I'm not sure what it's about, but I saw people with different flags. I think people are cooking. It's a good opportunity to go and raise those people's awareness. I mean, if it's in an international festival, then what a perfect way to try to connect our movement to theirs because of the influence that the U.S. has on their countries. And I saw some Global South, some flags from the Global South, right in front of me, like all the way in the distance. That's a Bolivian flag, if I'm not mistaken. I saw people with the Honduran flags. I mean, just recently we saw under the Obama administration what Hillary Clinton did as Secretary of State to Honduras. I mean, all of that is war related. We try to install a coup in Bolivia, and I reported on, and also Ben Norton, we discussed how they tried to kill Evo Morales, who was democratically elected back in 2019, and he was trying to seek sanctuary in Mexico. They're trying to shoot down his plane. All right, and then right there, yeah, I see. Those are El Salvador flags. What's going on, Propaganda? I saw Shadow Band Refugee in the chat as well. It's great to see you guys. Make sure you guys share this far and wide. Share this video. Help get the word out. End the damn wars. It's a vote for peace. And of course, the issue with Assange is connected, because without a free press, how can you get the word out about what we're doing in other countries? I was able to get the second to last meeting.
Yeah, I know. The meetings was quick. We figured we have more larger size than smaller ones, so at least you can like shrink it or cut it or do anything. Yeah.
It doesn't shrink enough for me. Like a large doesn't shrink enough for me. But in like
like wrap themselves up super tight and like yeah, like I was telling her, we asked so that when they did get shot, if there was any other events going on, if it was just ours, if there be any conflict or anything like that. They originally told us no.
Oh, you're talking about the festival? So I was thinking.
There was going to be a street fair down there.
Yeah.
Which this is more than a street fair.
So I was thinking like the issue. Well, it's an international festival. It looks like it's like a Latin festival. The issues are connected because of what the U.S. does in those countries in the Global South.
Are you Franco?
Yeah.
I'm Marie.
Hi, Marie.
Nice to finally meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Black in the Empire on Twitter.
Oh my God, I retweet your stuff all the time, man.
How you doing,
Great
man?
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You guys want to say hi to everybody watching?
Yeah.
Oh, sure, why not? Yeah.
Yeah. How's it going, guys?
Really, really good. We're here to end the damn wars.
Awesome, awesome. You guys want to say any words about why the wars should be ended, like from your perspective?
Well, from my perspective, I mean, I was a veteran. I'm a veteran, so I saw like a lot of the damage that's done by wars, and I mean, I guess everybody knows, you know, what we're doing overseas. You know, a lot of the world thinks we're out here trying to promote good and happiness, but we all know that it's about trying to make more money for the military-industrial complex.
Yeah.
Well, I can say as a mother that I don't want my son dead so that Elon Musk can have some more lithium, or so that the Sacklers can have some more fucking opium.
Well
I
said,
don't
yeah.
want it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you guys so much.
All
It's
right.
great meeting you guys.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You guys
Nice
have
to
some
meet
fire
you.
tweets.
Yeah.
I love retweeting your stuff.
Nice to meet you.
All right. I'll see you guys around.
Okay.
Hi. Good. How are you? What's your name?
How's it going? So what is this outfit called? Is it a peace boat?
Yeah, peace boat, and by the peace dove with a peace sign.
Awesome.
Understanding.
How long you been here, Frank?
My parking is for 2 hours, but I can go extend it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you just came today, or you been down?
Oh, I live here.
Oh, you live in DC?
Yeah.
Oh.
I live in the DC area.
Oh, okay.
There's like I live in the county that's just like right north of DC.
All right.
Yeah. What about you guys?
I came down from Baltimore. I'm from Baltimore.
Oh, okay,
So I'm
okay.
not far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that far away. It's an hour drive.
Yeah, I just hopped on the train.
Oh, you guys took the MARC train over here?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I was driving like this week. Those times that I streamed on the Capitol, I was driving from Baltimore to here because that's where I work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I drive like an hour to get to work. It's
So
fine
that's
though.
weird. Normally people come from Baltimore to DC to work.
Yeah.
You're going the opposite way.
It's cool though. I just listen to podcasts and stuff on my way.
Yeah.
It's nice and relaxing.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I meant just, it figures that like, they're supposed to be gonna have the speakers first or something.
I don't know what the order is for the speakers. Yeah, I'm kind of shy about speaking today. Yeah. But I know that Paula Jean is speaking, I think Brana is speaking. I think that's Olivia, right? I think she might be speaking.
Yeah.
And Nico House apparently was going to be here, or he's going to the one in Florida. I can't remember which one he said. Magnus, I'm guessing, is going to speak.
No, it's easy.
Some more people arriving. All right, let's check what you guys are saying in the comments. Smucky, you're welcome. So thank you, Franco. I appreciate you sticking it out. It's always nice to have people do the thing you're too lazy to do. And when I say you, I mean me. Good. That's fair. What's up? Mariana, what's up? What else we got? Residency, welcome. Gem Collection, welcome. Savon Bryant, welcome. How's it going? I'll be back. I just want to take a look at what's going on with that festival on the other side over here. I'm gonna ask Magnus if we're gonna march or what. So just to show you guys, just like about almost, there's so many corners like this where there's tents. There's a lot of homeless people in the nation's capital. So I don't think this is a protest, I think this is just an event. I think it's just a festival. But like I was saying earlier, we could try to connect these issues here, because a lot of people come to this country from the global south because of US imperialism. There's Mexico right there. Oh, there's Peru. Pretty long. But let's go back to the End the Damn Wars protest. S10 Plus. Yeah.
How does it record? Nice.
Yeah, we're live streaming right now. It looks good.
Where are you streaming to?
YouTube. Yeah. Channel's Frank Analysis. Yeah, I've had Magnus on the show a couple times. I do like solo videos, we do interviews, panel discussions, on the ground coverage. I do all that stuff. No, I don't have a car. No. But it's FRANC space analysis. Yeah. Thanks guys. Appreciate you guys coming out.
Yeah.
How's it going, Brian?
Yeah, I missed you the other day at the Capitol. I didn't come out that night.
The second night? Yeah, that's cool.
Next day.
There wasn't many people
Yeah,
there.
there was nobody when I was around like 2 o'clock, but then around like 4 or 5 o'clock there were some people. I think they were going to stay. We were talking about they were going to do stuff that night and stay that night and stuff, but I didn't come back.
I don't know if they slept. I can't remember if they said they did.
Yeah, when I was there that Thursday or whatever, they said like, I don't know if they were going to sleep there, but they were going to do some like stuff like that they were like just like show. Oh, there's stuff else we're going to do.
They did, so this is what I got from them. They said that they did talk, they were given warnings, and then they talked it out with some lawyers that were there, and then they decided, I was like, all right, who wants to get arrested, who doesn't want to get
So
arrested?
basically what happened was like, it kind of started, and Paula Jean was on the steps, and they were like, if you use your bullhorn on the steps, then we'll have to like give you warnings and stuff like that. So then they all went down in front of the steps. So everybody gave their speeches, and kind of after everybody was done, everybody had already given all their speeches. Then they went back up to the steps and started to just like chant and stuff.
Okay, so after all the speeches were done.
Yeah.
Okay. You know how long this is gonna last?
Oh my God, I'm excited. At 1 o'clock, and then we're supposed to, I think it's supposed to march to the White House, Lafayette Square.
Okay.
Because I didn't know if they were going to do the speeches here or if they were going to like march and then go like something here. Good to have the march there. A lot of times when you march, you get people along the way.
Doing a full rotation here.
Yeah, I also thought the other day that Max and Anya were gonna speak, but they had them on like a list, but they weren't there.
Yeah, I saw that too on the email that Max and Anya were gonna speak, but I guess something came up for them.
I'm going to be interested to see how far my union pushes back on Biden's stuff.
Oh gosh.
I work for the government,
That freaking mandate, man.
Because like when you said like the testing stuff like 2 months ago, they never set it up. So, and a lot of people aren't back that aren't working. So,
I really hope it gets a lot of pushback. But I know that places like this, like in DC and Maryland, like there's more pressure because of how the collective thinks. Like it's more neoliberal here.
So my workplace is interesting because it's Census Bureau, so it's like 20,000 employees across the country. And a lot of people that work where I are at live in Southern Maryland. And then a lot of our employees are like, only make like $15, $20 an hour, like across the country. And they're in like more rural areas where and they're already like, we're really struggling. Like we're like short staffed already for like probably kind of like, there's like jobs and yeah, they're already like struggling to like get people and hire people and so yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Yeah. I'm like forced out.
We've got about 30 minutes, and it's time to rally. Why isn't anybody cheering?
Yeah!
I don't wear a mask anywhere, and it's various responses, crazy stuff.
Yeah. Same in Maryland.
So I was on the train last week, and it was funny, even the conductor had his face mask half off, the Amtrak.
It's kind of refreshing to see that not that many people here are wearing it.
The what?
It's kind of refreshing to see not that many people here are wearing
yeah.
it. There's no need. Like,
Yeah, especially outside.
we're outside, plus all the other stuff that we've discussed and Ryan Kristen has discussed.
I was supposed to start volunteering at a shelter, and then they said I'm not going to be able to because I'm not vaccinated. It's like a permanent housing like shelter, and the people there aren't they're mixed with vaccinated and unvaccinated. And when I talked with them, they're like, oh yeah, you're fine, do medical or religious exemption thing. And then I guess their superiors there were like, oh no, we're making you all have to vaccinate. I was like, sorry, I was like, let me know. Theaters and a lot of bars and restaurants are requiring vaccinations, I think. And a lot of some gyms and other places are too.
Yeah. My gym's still requiring that. They took it off and then they brought it back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk around a little bit again. Show everyone who's here. Oh wow, there's Garland. When I start going to these places, like in DC, more and more, I start seeing like the same faces a lot. It's a small world.
Where's the energy? Woo! Come on! Don't make me get the horn.
Can I show your sign?
Yeah, it is more. I agree. It's more the health thing. I think it's more the, and I know the health is last. Some what do you call it? Have something.
Do you want to say anything about it?
Job.
Oh. I think you said it all.
Yeah. All right, thanks a lot.
Yeah, well, yeah, like to me, I think it's a job, learn taxes, regulations. I know that's my thought. It's a job. I'm pretty for it. I pilot for negative income tax. I think that's much better than no. That's my negative income tax. Yeah, I know the They tried to they unfortunately inadvertently affect civilians. They tried to harm them. And that's something that's got. But then the government saw other government organizations helping people. That's where
How's it going, man? Good to see you.
I'm for it. Have we met before?
The F censorship protest.
Oh,
Yeah, Franklin.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun one.
Yeah. You do great work, man. It's amazing.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, it's great to see you out here.
I'm looking forward to this one. I think this will be a no mainstream media kind of event.
Oh yeah, they're definitely not covering this.
Sorry? Yeah. No,
No, they're too busy hyping up those fucking morons who are going to come next week or whatever.
yeah. So the next week thing, and then right now the mainstream media is in New York, like worshiping George
Fear
Bush.
porn, yeah, exactly. Oh, this
Look,
guy.
it's Bush and Obama sitting next to each other. What are you gonna do?
They definitely have no bearing on responsibility of what was going on.
Washington. Oh.
Yeah.
No, they've been patriotically. Yes. I'm good. Hey,
How's it going, Garland? Good to see you.
They've dehumanized now, you know, so you have the choice, you're willing to do it, or you have my other time.
So this equipment. At first I thought this was like a homeless person's stuff. But it's just equipment for the events. Just want to show you guys like where we are. What's up, Christine? How's it going? Just parked?
Of course, the one like parking garage I tried to go to put the wrong one in. They couldn't pull, so
I had to go run and like put more money into mine.
yeah.
And
I
like
had-
an hour.
Hopefully, I could do that through the app because it's all so I can just like keep.
Oh, I had to use my card on the meter
Okay,
because of the spot.
They didn't even have meters where it was, but it was like how much was that?
A lot of people are here so far.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, a lot of the 8 for 8 people are here. Paula, Kimber.
I know you. I'm glad like there's other people here too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a good amount of people right now. So, what time is it right now? 12:50. All right, so in 10 minutes, that's when people will start speaking. It's a peaceful day.
Welcome, Andrew!
I'm gonna go say hi.
But you can talk about it, right? This is what we're doing. Why? You can chat about
How's it going? Hi, Jordan. How's it going? Great to see you guys.
What's up? Hey, man, so Medea's got to go. Yeah. But why not let her open up? She said she could do like 5 or 10 minutes. She's opening right now. I think that'd be great. Yeah, me too. And wait, no. She deserves a lot of credit. Like, you know.
Last name is
All right, we have a very, very special surprise to open up the show today. Miss Medea Benjamin is here to hand the award.
I'm a good MC, huh?
Come on over to the podium. Everybody like gather on the grass. Show those people where to come to. Come on. Afghanistan. While many of us were saying for the last 20 years, end the damn wars, they're now saying, why did our soldiers die in wars? Why did we spend trillions of dollars in these wars? Did you actually hear when Biden talked about the war in Afghanistan and said, can you imagine we've been spending $300 million a day on that war? I was astounded that he admitted that. He repeated it, $300 million a day on that war. And I think that resonates with the American people to say, what the hell are we spending that money on? Of course, we know what we're spending the money on. The merchants of death, the weapons contractors, the millionaires who surround us in the mansions in Virginia, who've made big, big bucks from this war. I managed to get inside the shareholder meeting of General Dynamics to confront the CEO, a woman who made $21 million just in her salary for 1 year off the wars. And I said to her, don't you think that if your profits are based on war and conflict around the world, and that's the only way you can make money, that you should maybe rethink your business model? And she replied and said, we pray for peace. We work for peace. We want peace. But just a week earlier, she had said to her shareholders that the dangerous times and all the conflicts around the world would bode well for their profits in the coming years. So they don't pray for war, for peace. They pray for conflict. They pray for war. And I want to say something about the others who are so complicit in this, not just the 4 presidents who've kept these wars going, but also the members of Congress. You would think that anybody who voted for the war in Iraq should have been kicked out. That should have been a career-ending vote, right? But it wasn't. In fact, one of those people who voted for the war in Iraq is now where? In the White House. So we have not held these people accountable at all. And it's about time we start holding them accountable. And one way we could do that is the upcoming military budget that is going to be passed sometime in September, October, November, and will be debated in those months. And I think we should say that any politician that calls themselves a progressive or somebody working for the people should pledge to us right now that they will not vote for a Pentagon budget that is any kind of increase from the last budget. That's the least that they can do. Many of us have called for the Pentagon budget to be cut in half. Cut it by $350 billion, and we'd still be by far the country with the largest military budget in the world. But at the very least, let us not increase the military budget, like the members of Congress are now trying to do. Not only increase it to where Biden had asked for an increase, but even $25 billion more than Biden had asked for. So for all of those politicians, we have to say, end the damn wars and stop pouring our money down the black hole of militarism. So I just want to thank you for being out today. And I totally agree with the slogan. I love it. End the damn wars.
End the damn wars. End the damn wars.
End the
damn wars.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, next up we have the very famous
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming out today. I have a little speech prepared. I was only 8 years old when the towers fell. I remember the panicked look on my teacher's face, being sent home from school early, and watching fear and bloodlust spread through our culture. As I grew up, I questioned why we attacked Iraq. I watched the war on terror slowly erode our civil liberties at home. I protested the bombing of Libya, a once prosperous country completely destroyed. I protested the invasion of Syria, military operations across Africa, and the ongoing genocide in Yemen. Out of confusion and anger, I threw myself into the subject. Decades of research and reading, some of which was authored by individuals who will be speaking here today, and it led me towards a deeper truth. For it is not just the wars, the bombs, the troops, drones, tanks, and warships that make up these crimes against humanity. Those are obvious. You can see them, you can touch them, they can be counted and measured, and occasionally the media will even acknowledge their existence. It's what goes unmentioned that matters the most. We don't discuss the countless black operations across the world, the assassinations, the funding and creating of terror organizations, manipulations of government and proxy wars that create the environment of justice, environment of hatred, violence that justified these wars and will justify future wars. We don't discuss the economic warfare, sanctions that do nothing more than starve the poor, aid programs that prop up warlords and puppet regimes, predatory loans and state-sponsored corporate warfare that capture the wealth of nations. We ignore the environmental destruction. 900 Superfund sites, defined as a location that's almost impossible to rehabilitate, are directly contributed to the U.S. military. 59 million tons of CO2, 750,000 tons of toxic waste. Soil polluted with depleted uranium, air filled with burning oil, and rivers choked with diesel. And don't you dare mention the traitors, the individuals who had the audacity to expose these crimes, the leakers, the whistleblowers, and the journalists who dared to ask the hard questions. Their lives are now ruined, slandered with labels such as traitor, spy, and thief, locked in jail cells for years, all charged with the exclusive crime of exposing crime. I am now 28 years old, and none of these wars have ended. We have in fact expanded them. New theaters, new villains, a never-ending cast, and with no concrete strategy or objective or conclusion in sight. This madness must end. This is a call for unity across all political ideologies, across all of our differences and divisions, to realize the horrors of these wars and bring them to their conclusion. To the environmentalists who are sick of watching the military-industrial complex burn our world, stand up and be heard. To the conservatives who are sick of watching our economy be dragged into the dirt for an empire that no one asked for, stand up and be heard. To the liberty-minded who are sick of watching our civil liberties be crushed and sapped away, all for a war on terror that's done nothing to save us, stand up and be heard. To the progressives who are sick of watching Americans struggle and starve while being told there's nothing we can do, all while we spend trillions of dollars on war. To the leftists who are sick of watching cultures and nations around the world be placed under the boot of empire, their resources stolen, their sovereignty crushed, stand up and be heard. To the veterans and active duty military who are sick of being told to fight and die for wars of profit and deceit, stand up and be heard. I believe the only path forward is unity. What we face is an institution with decades of propaganda, near limitless resources, the support of multi-million-dollar companies, and legions of bought and paid-for policymakers. Alone we are isolated, we are marginalized, but together, hand in hand, we can send a message that cannot be silenced, cannot be jailed, cannot be divided, and cannot be ignored. End the damn wars! Thank you.
That was fantastic. All right, now we have the very famous Scarlett Nixon.
Mic check. How does the audio sound?
Hello. We are here on September 11th. September 11th, 2001. 2001. What happened? There was an attack on the United States. Many of us have been. Any better? There was an attack on the United States. Many of us saw it on television. We felt emotional. We felt bad about the people that were losing their lives. We thought about the reasons behind the attack. We thought about many things. The empire smiled. The empire rubbed its hands together. The empire saw an opportunity. General Wesley Clark went to the Pentagon, and many of you have probably heard him discuss it. He went to the Pentagon, and he was given a piece of paper with 7 countries. The empire saw an opportunity like it hadn't seen in many years, and decided, great, now we can do what we want to do. We can expand the empire, and we must always use the term empire. The United States Empire, the American Empire. This is not a nation. I see people with Medicare for all and various social programs on their clothes, and they ask questions. How can Costa Rica afford Medicare for all if we can't? Because Costa Rica is a nation. Nations can afford things like that. Nations don't have 760 stations around the world. Nations do not enact sanctions on other countries that even hurt the companies in their country. But empires do that. And we must always remember to refer to the United States as an empire, and what we're fighting, regardless of how we discuss it, is imperialism. All of the things that you see on this sign. Who needs an empire to do imperial things? One of the things that really woke me up about a year ago, I went to Venezuela, and I had an opportunity to go there. I went there with Medea and the Code Pink people. I was able to wander around the country. I was able to talk to the people in the country. I was able to look around. And it was eye-opening. To go to a country and see an entire country, an entire nation of innocent people, hungry, desperate, falling apart, to talk to the people in that nation and learn things I had no idea about. I was riding around, and I kept seeing these signs of Barack Obama, and they had little devil horns on it, and it said Obama, El Diablo, etc., etc. And I asked the people, what is that? You guys hate Obama. And they explained to me that in 2015 or 2016, he labeled Venezuela like a state sponsor of terrorism. And as a result, basically they couldn't get the necessities that they need. They eat these with pretty much every meal. One part of the staple of their meal is these little corn fritters called, I think, arepas. And because of Obama's designation, the companies that provided that country with the cornmeal couldn't do it anymore, so you had an entire country that was hungry. The stories they told me about walking around, seeing their friends and neighbors put more holes in their belts because everyone was losing weight, because everyone was hungry. That's what an empire does. That's what this empire does. That's why we have to fight it. Keep in mind something. You see the bombs dropping. You read about the drones. What you don't read about is the countries that can't get medicine for diabetics. They can't get medicine for people who have diseases that are easily treatable. And tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people die because of the sanctions. Probably we kill more people with sanctions than we do with actual bombs in this. So if you take away anything from what I'm saying today, 2 things. Number 1, we got to stop the sanctions. And number 2, and this is the big one, free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Let me hear it!
Free Julian Assange!
Free
Julian Assange!
And lastly, end the damn wars!
End the damn wars! End the damn wars! Thank you so much. Okay, next up we have Andrew.
Hey, everybody! So we're going to practice a couple chants real quick. The first one
wars!
Stop the and the
Damn wars!
stop the
Drone tours!
So I was invited to be an organizer by Magnus and Kimber. I work with a group called Action for Assange primarily. We worked for the last 2.5 years since Julian was taken to prison to try to secure his freedom. So I've been honored to be invited to be here and invited to work with these amazing individuals. Today, we're here to talk about not just the wars themselves, but the costs. Not just the trillions of dollars that we spend on them, not just the millions of lives that are sacrificed for the profits of a few, but also the casualty of our country and our civil liberties. There's a man in jail right now in Belmarsh prison who about a year ago was tortured to the point that he could not remember his own name. But we did, and his name is Julian Assange. He had done more for the people of Afghanistan than any bomb, than any bullet, or any tank. He revealed 15,000 civilian murders. He revealed torture programs, human sex trafficking by United States allies, and that's just in this one conflict. To this day, Julian Assange is still held in solitary confinement inside of Belmarsh prison, even as everything he told us would happen in Afghanistan is coming true. Free! Free! Julian Assange! Free! Free! Julian Assange! So one of the other costs of war, before I switch this microphone over to someone else, I want to tell a story of a young man by the name of Joshua Schultz. Most people have never heard of him, which is a travesty. He's a man that's now faced the second round of trials for a crime that the U.S. government admits he did not commit. He is the alleged source of the Vault 7 WikiLeaks that revealed the cyber arsenal of the CIA and the weapons they used against activists, journalists, and governments around the world which did not consent with them. Joshua Schultz, for the last 1,412 days, has been kept in isolation as a pretrial detainee. For at least 1,050 days, he has been under special administrative measures. He's being kept in the same prison in New York where Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Somehow they can't keep track of him, but Joshua Schultz, they know right where he is. If Joshua's family wishes to visit him, it is a grueling 5-hour process for Joshua to meet with them and then to get back to his cell once he leaves. The MCC, the Manhattan Correction Center, is set up in such a way that it allows humans to be treated worse than any animal you can imagine. Joshua Schultz, if he wants to meet with his family, is escorted into the yard where he's strip searched and left in a cage. A literal 6x6 dog kennel in the beating sun. For hours! It can be 4 to 5 hours until they approve his visitors while he sits in this cage. There's no restroom. There's no public facility. If he needs to use the bathroom, they give him a bag to urinate and defecate in. This is an American citizen 4 hours north of here. But I want to bring you a message of hope, and it doesn't come from Congress, the White House, the judiciary. It doesn't come from the UK government, and it comes from no legislation. The hope we have now is that we are not in cages, that we can still make these changes, because without us, there is no opposition to the damn wars. So each and every one of you here in one way or another has been involved in the political process, whether it's supporting a candidate, organizing yourself, running for office, starting a movement. Every person here is called to return to your communities and to be the voice of Julian, to be the anti-war voice in America. Because without us, there is none. So thank you for everyone who's attended, and this is only the beginning.
Howdy. You guys hear me all right? Yeah. John, Texas. All right. Mine's going to be longer and less exciting. My talk is going to be longer and less exciting. I want to start with the simple fact that's off topic. What? Oh. Volume up? Oh, I'm too far away. All right. I already had the term, so I'm good. Listen. This is off topic, but I gotta say it because it's all over TV, and this is a refrain. It comes and goes. It's especially prominent in the early days of the terror war. Mine and Bird's right in the back of my taxi cab would always repeat, they saw on TV. Well, I think George W. Bush did a really great job leading the country that day. And they just say that over and over again. But if you ask somebody to detail what they mean about that, then they can't tell you. Because the reality is that George Bush fled in cowardly terror to Louisiana, where he stayed for 4 hours. Then he fled to Nebraska to a giant underground H-bomb bunker at Strategic Air Command in Nebraska, and he didn't bring his sorry ass back to Washington, D.C. until 7:30 that night. And you're telling me you thought he did a great job handling things that day? He didn't handle a damn thing until he got up there on TV, even though he knew it was Al-Qaeda that did it, and said, we're going to war against terror, and it'll never end. Yeah, what a great leader. Let's all just tell each other that slogan over and over again. I think he did a great job that day, just because we heard everybody else say it, and we think it makes us sound smart. How about that? All right, anyway, here's the point. That just pisses me off because I hate George Bush a lot. Here's the thing of it, man. September 11th was a provocation. Okay? It's not just that it was revenge. They were trying to get you and your dad and your mom and your government to believe stupid things and act in stupid ways. In terrorism, the action is in the reaction of the opposition. So, first of all, the motive that made the former freedom fighters under Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan turn into the enemy terrorists and attack the United States was American occupation of bases on the Holy Arabian Peninsula, land of Mecca and Medina. Support for Israel and their oppression of Palestinians and Lebanese. Support for the dictators of the region, meaning especially King Fahd in Saudi and Hosni Mubarak in Egypt. Pressure on the Middle Eastern dictators to keep the oil prices artificially low to subsidize our economy at their expense, and turning a blind eye to Russia, China, and India in their oppression of Muslims. And what's interesting is, that's not true. That last part, Bill Clinton supported Al-Qaeda in Bosnia and in Kosovo against Russia's closest allies, the Serbs, and supported the Uyghurs in training them in Afghanistan for use against the Chinese, and also supported the Chechen terrorists. While they were financing Boris Yeltsin and Vladimir Putin's side of the war, they were also financing the terrorist side of the war in Chechnya in the late 1990s. And in fact, after September 11th, Bill Clinton, Tom Lantos, and Brad Sherman, all Democrats, said, geez, why would these Muslims attack us after everything we've done for them lately? When the reality was that all of the things that America was doing that were motivating the attacks against the United States were still continuing. Bill Clinton was supporting them, but he had failed to bribe them off. Okay? But then again, so that was the motive. But the strategy America invade Afghanistan. They wanted America to invade Afghanistan, to bog us down, lead us to bankruptcy, and force our empire out of the Middle East the long and the hard way. Now here we are 20 years into this thing, $30 trillion in debt, and we're slowly but surely withdrawing from the Middle East now in humiliation and defeat, having achieved absolutely nothing except, as Bin Laden said, some benefits for our politically connected corporations, which has put the American government and the terrorists on the same side as each other as strategic allies against the people of the Middle East and against the people of the United States of America. Now, when George W. Bush first went to Afghanistan, and this is kind of buried, they just said over and over again, the Taliban won't negotiate, but that wasn't true. The Taliban offered to negotiate 3 times. At first they wanted proof, but by the time the bombing started in October 2001, they dropped their demand for proof. They said they would extradite Bin Laden to any third country without evidence if we would just stop the bombing. Bush said too little, too late. Now, you may say, especially if you're old enough to have lived through this back 20 years ago, your point of view might be, you know what? I'm really mad about those towers, and arrest and trial isn't good enough for me. I want these Al-Qaeda guys bombed, and I want them shot, and I want them dead. And I might say, for the sake of argument, fine. But then what did W. Bush do? He went to Kabul. He took the side of General Rashid Dostum, who had served the Soviet Union and the Northern Alliance, to do a regime change in Kabul and overthrow the Taliban that did not attack us, while he let Osama bin Laden and Ayman al-Zawahiri escape from Tora Bora. While the CIA and the Delta Force begged for reinforcements, they were denied for weeks. And then once bin Laden escaped into Pakistan, they were forbidden from following him across the border into a friendly nation where they were perfectly welcome to give chase. And then he installed a new government in Kabul. And then he declared it America's object to protect that new government against all of its enemies forever. And that put America on the side of the worst drug dealers and torturers and murderers and child rapists and warlords in Afghan history, while fighting some of them, recruiting the rest. And that's why the government that they created in Kabul was always destined for failure. It was the enemy of the people of Afghanistan, not their security force. And then what they do? They lie. And they pretended that bin Laden, who they let escape, had a secret alliance with Saddam Hussein in Iraq. And they lied that they knew that Saddam Hussein had chemical, biological, and even was reconstituting, as Dick Cheney said, nuclear weapons. She never had in the first place, pretty difficult to reconstitute, but anyway. And as Bush said repeatedly, just imagine September 11th, but this time with the terrorists armed with weapons of mass destruction from Saddam Hussein's Iraq, in order to manipulate your family into being so afraid that you would let them start a war against a country that did not attack us, that had nothing to do with the attack on this country. As a previous speaker indicated, Wesley Clark was shown by a general at the Pentagon the neocons hit list for regime change. 7 nations: Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Sudan, Somalia, and ending with Iran. Not one of those countries had an alliance with Osama bin Laden. Not one of those countries had the slightest thing to do with the attack on the United States. And they just decided, you know, a lot of people in the last 20 years have been 9/11 truthers and thought that Dick Cheney and the Israelis or Saudis did the attack just so they could have an excuse. But the reality is, they might as well have done it themselves. They exploited the death of those 3,000 people like they didn't matter at all. Like the grief of their families didn't matter at all. Suckers, now that you're afraid, we're going to trick you into letting us have bonus wars and attack people who had nothing to do with this. And I know, I was around. I was 25 when the attack happened, and I had a job where I was interacting with the public constantly. And people believed that Saddam Hussein did 9/11. And you ask them, how come we're waiting to Ayatollah Khamenei. They fought an entire civil war for his best friend and put them in power in Baghdad. And then they wish they didn't. And then they launched what's called the Redirection in 2006, where they decided, you know what? We don't really mind Al-Qaeda all that bad after all. They might have killed 3,000 American civilians and they here in the United States, and they might have been the worst part of the Sunni insurgency in Iraq. But our government decided that they hate the Ayatollah more. And so they went right back to their strategy of backing the bin Ladenites, just as they had since Jimmy Carter. Where now the war on terrorism, such as it has taken place in small amounts in Iraq after Al-Qaeda came there after the war, in Pakistan and in Yemen, these are the aberrations. America's gone right back to backing Al-Qaeda again. Fatah al-Islam in Lebanon, Muslim Brotherhood groups, and of course all different Ahrar al-Sham and Jabhat al-Nusra and all the terrorists in Syria, the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group and Ansar al-Sharia and Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb in their fights in North Africa. And right now, even though Obama started a drone war against Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula back in 2009, he changed his mind. And in 2015, he took Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula side against their enemies, the Houthis, because the Houthis are friends with the hated enemy, Iran. And so here our government, as they mark this occasion all over this town and celebrate what victims they are, they're up to their eyeballs to this very day in the highest treason, fighting back again on the side of the Al-Qaeda enemy. The enemy of the American people, the strategic allies of the United States government. That's your security force. And they spent $10 trillion. Now, if I told you, hey, at least we made $10 trillion off the war, well, that ain't right, is it? But somebody did, didn't they? Right around here. You can smell the blood on the money. Windy day. And we got a police state here at home. The choking life that Osama bin Laden promised us. He didn't hate our freedom, but he did want to destroy it. He thought it'd be hilarious if the American people adopted a totalitarian security state in order to protect them from the threat of terrorism. He was gambling, wrongly, that the American people would be so jealous of our liberty that we wouldn't stand for it. We have to sacrifice our Bill of Rights to maintain our Middle East empire, then screw it, right? The American people decided the other way. And here we are, the Patriot Act, thousands, tens of thousands of people tortured in Afghanistan and Iraq, more than 100 of them tortured to death by the military and the CIA. We have a Department of Homeland Security that, as you all know, will never go away, and has determined that you are now its greatest enemy. And we've got 30,000. It's a brand new study out from the Cost of War Project, okay? 30,000 suicides of veterans of the Iraq and Afghan wars. Now, when you hear about suicides, 22 a day, a lot of times that includes World War II and Korea and Vietnam veterans getting old. This is just from the 21st century terror wars. We lost 4,500 guys in Iraq. We lost 2,500 guys in Afghanistan. We lost 30,000 to them shooting themselves in the fucking head because of the betrayal of this government and frankly of the American people tolerating this policy, sending them off to kill, die, and sacrifice their best friends for lies. January 2001, the first month of not just the new century, but the new millennium. And the American people put Prescott Bush's grandson in the chair. With Dick Cheney and a bunch of agents of the Likud party from Israel who got the entire millennium off on the wrong foot. 20 years in now. More than 1 million dead. 10 trillion blown. The entire Middle East, hell, from Nigeria to Pakistan, destabilized. But it's not too late to start to put it right. We start to put it right by putting an end to doing what is wrong. It's not giving in to terrorists to abolish the empire that we never should have had in the first place. It's the right thing to do. And it's the only way to protect this country from terrorism. Thank you.
Okay, here we go. Now we have Miss Paula Jean Swearington.
Hi everyone, how you doing? Can everybody here out there know the noise? It's really loud back there. I don't know if y'all know me or not. My name is Paula Jean Swearington. I'm from West Virginia. I'm Paul Miner's daughter, my daughter, and I run.
Y'all hear me now?
I'm Paula Jean Swearington. I don't know if you know me or not. I'm a native West Virginia. I'm a coal miner's daughter and granddaughter of my family. I think at least six generations back. My family is coal mining, and I have a lot of veterans in my family. Specifically one, my dad passed away at 52 years old. He went to Vietnam, and he came home after everything that my family had sacrificed for the Industrial Revolution in the military, and my dad was in the state force and he suffered at 52 years old. In this country, we don't have a budgeting problem, we have a moral problem. Not only will we kill people overseas, but when we ask for our government not to have an inflated military budget, and we want basic human rights, like back home we don't have even adequate sewage systems. We don't have clean water, we don't have clean air. Not only are they blowing up other countries and they're not worried about children dying and women, but they're blowing up our mountains back home. But one thing that we're at a pivotal time, y'all. When I go to my neighbor's home, if one of us are hungry, we feed each other. We help each other. If I ask my neighbor for a wrench, he doesn't ask me if I'm a Democrat or a Republican. He comes over and helps me. I run for Congress. I know how blessed it is. And we have to get dark money out of politics, but we have to quit being divided. One thing that we have been placated to is propaganda. They spend a lot of money to divide us, because if they can divide us, they can conquer us. We need to stand up now, and not only fight for now, but fight for future generations. Fight for our children and grandchildren. They are allowed to kill our children in the streets in America. They're allowed to poison their children. I worry every day, not only now, but I used to worry my children would get cancer. Now I have to worry about my grandson getting cancer because of his zip code. When we talk about our veterans, they don't have any place to come home to. In poor communities across the country, they bring the military in to recruit our children in our schools. We have a saying back home: if you don't go into the coal mines, you go into the military or have to sell drugs. That's the only opportunity that we have. I left the Democratic Party because of the corruption. I joined the People's Party because we have to hold these people accountable. We have to get dark money out of politics. We have to fire the biggest warmongers that they work in that capital. We have to get the biggest drug dealers work in that capital. They are sucking the war machine. They are killing our children. They are killing us. It is time to end the damn wars and unite with each other. We need to unite like we have never united before, and let them know that we pay their salaries. They
spoken with organizer from Code Pink that said that they have an event taking place tomorrow at 3 o'clock outside of the White House. So if you have the ability to come, please go. Code Pink's an awesome organization. Medea Benjamin's one of the people that actually inspired me. But I'm going to turn it over to her so she can explain a little bit more about it.
Every day until the Pentagon is cut. So please join us at 3 p.m. in front of the White House. We'll have a giant cake. We're going to cut the Pentagon and eat it too. Giant cake. Ben & Jerry's also donated ice cream. We're going to have a brainstorming session. We're really wanting to build this coalition. Right now we have over 50 partners, both DC-based and national and international. So we want to make this more intergenerational, more intersectional, knowing that the military-industrial complex, imperialism affects all of us, especially communities that are underfunded and under-resourced. So we're going to talk about what we can do with all that money instead that can better our communities, our planet, and each other. So please come out. Code Pink tomorrow, 3 p.m. in front of the White House. There will be cake, there will be ice cream, and there will be community. So looking forward to seeing you all there. We still have more speakers coming, as you know, and I'm glad that happened to you. So we have more speakers coming. We're waiting on a few people that are having trouble arriving, but they will be here. So we're going to have Andrew's going to do something first, and then we have some very important people coming, and we'll just move on. You guys want to do a chant? Come on! Let's get enthusiastic. Okay, we're gonna say, hey Joe, hell no, these fucking wars have got to go. Hey Joe, hell no, these fucking wars have got to go. Hey Joe, hell no, these fucking wars have got to go. Hey Joe, hell no, these fucking wars have got to go. Hey Joe. Woo! So, for those of you who don't know, Julian Assange, the gentleman I've been trying to organize his freedom for, he's being charged under 17 counts of the Espionage Act and 1 charge of conspiracy to commit computer intrusion. For those of you who aren't aware, the Espionage Act is an over 100-year-old law. It's 103 years old at this point. It was built in the lead-up to World War I as a way specifically to target anti-war activists that were trying to move populations to dissidents. This speech that I'm going to read is actually a violation of the Espionage Act. It's Eugene Debs' June 16, 1918 speech that he gave in near my hometown in Canton, Ohio, 2 years ago today. Not today, but throughout history, war has been waged for conquest and plunder.
In the Middle Ages, the feudal lords who inhabited the castles, whose towers may still be seen in rides concluded, to enlarge their domains, to increase their power, their prestige, and their wealth, they declared war on one another. But they themselves did not go to war any more than the modern feudal lords. The barons of Wall Street go to war. The feudal barons of the Middle Ages, the economic predecessors of the capitalists of our day, declared all wars, and their miserable serfs fought all the battles. The poor, ignorant serfs had been taught to revere their masters, to believe that when their masters declared war upon one another, it was their patriotic duty to fall upon one another and cut one another's throats for the profit and the glory of the lords they serve. The master class has always declared the wars, and the subject class has always fought the battles. The master class has all to gain and nothing to lose, while the subject class has nothing to gain and all to lose, especially their lives. They've always taught and trained you to believe that it is your patriotic duty to go to war, that you have to slaughter at their command. But in the history of the world, the people have never had a voice in declaring war. And strange as it certainly appears, no war by any nation in any age was declared by the people. And here let me emphasize the fact that it cannot be repeated too often that the working class who fought the battles, it is the working class that makes the supreme sacrifice. The working class who freely shed their blood and furnished their corpses have yet to have a voice in declaring war or making peace. They alone declare the wars, and they alone make peace. It is not yours to reason why. It is yours to but do and die. That is their motto. We are subject, we are object on the part of the awakening workers of this nation. If war is right, let it be declared by the people.
What you just heard was technically illegal. It is a violation of the Espionage Act. By hearing it, you are now partaking in a crime. This may sound absurd, but that is the world we live in. That is a 100-year-old law. It's simply the words spoken, where people were put in jail. People like Julian Assange, people like Daniel Hale, uncountable others. We have many more speakers coming up. Thank y'all for showing up. There's water underneath the tent. You can get some. I know it's hot. Thank you so much.
Sorry guys, our march is starting in about 30 minutes. So if you guys want to just chill out, we're going to be marching to the White House. And then whoever wants to join us will be gathering on this side in about like 30 minutes.
Okay, but before we march, we have to have more speakers. So here is Dana Day from the People's Party.
Howdy, y'all. We are out here because our government would rather spend money sending people overseas to fight and die rather than investing in us right here in our own country. We're here because imperialism stretches across supposed to be working for us so that they can again go in and pretend like they're against the war, pretend like they're against going overseas, sending people overseas, sending people from poverty who have no other choice but to serve in the military so that they can put food on the table, off to die. As well as Obama's administration is a great example, dropped far more bombs than Trump's administration ever did. There is no better political party in this. There are no damn good guys in this shit. They're one and the same. There's a military-industrial complex, and that 46 billion helps them to acquire the funds to spend $6 billion a day on war. And we're not profiting, we're dying while they profit. Everyone across the globe has suffered in one way or another from American imperialism, from war, and from the capitalization of lives, of human lives. I'm happy at Audion, and I can't go see my family overseas because every other week we're talking about going to war. My family's terrified. They're afraid at any moment this country is going to bomb their country. With a split family overseas, I worry about them every day. And I worry about our people here. And I worry about our families that we're sending over there to fight. There are two parties, but there's only one, really, at the end of the day when it comes to legislation. And that one is going to fund war every damn time. That's why I'm here with the People's Party, because I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of corporate funding. We don't take any corporate funding at the People's Party. And you know what? I'm sick and tired of our representatives representing corporations, representing the war machine, representing the industrial complex, and not representing us. Let's end the damn war! I believe Andrew has to finish so we're going to have him come on up. Oh, actually, we're going to have Eric Harvey. Where are the cheering sections?
Hi, I'm Eric Harvey. I organized the chapter of the science events along with Bill Ayers and Bernie Dorn, retired professor. I write for a couple of sites overseas and here in LA. So I think it's a more appropriate quote to put on that sign back there. There is a direct relationship between bits of information and the way governments work, the way that society is organized, the relationship between governments and their citizens. Oh, sorry. You got a long 24 hours. All right. In other words, what Julian Assange does has direct relevance to the nature of political organizations, the way societies are structured, in his being able to disseminate information. Of course, not able to now, given what's happening to him. And journalism then is a way to keep a check on power. Yes, again, on my mouth. All right. And say, for example, what Justice Hugo Black said in the early 70s during New York Times Stroke US, where the New York Times was facing an injunction from the United States not to release the Pentagon Papers, the covert study ultimately released, of course, and made public American bombs in Southeast Asia. The government lost. Hugo Black said, liberty is the greatest bulwark. The press is the but actually he is one of the emblems behind the greatest bulwark facility. In The World According to Empire, a book, detailing and deconstructing documents released by WikiLeaks, he writes the introduction, and in it he draws a connection between how the flow of information in cultures is regulated and what those power structures look like. And it's almost as if now it's not a class struggle that is characterizing history. It goes all the way back to the use of papyrus and the commitment of information to those through history, and then catalogs what's going on with secrecy in government in the United States. We're dealing with the informationally disenfranchised when we're trying to determine how abuses occur. Say, overfund the military at the expense of educational resources. Cornell West has spent a great deal of time analyzing. In other words, what is education but the ability to interpret the information you ingest and then disenfranchise people from access to those resources? It creates these stratifications, and ultimately they have facilitated the criminalization of black people on the left in the early 70s when Nixon was running for re-election. In other words, throughout history, we see this over and over again, and actually, the criminalization of journalism is not a new thing. I've been discussing how information flows in societies. For example, since the early 80s, a famous journalist and black empowerment activist, originally the Minister of Information for the Black Panthers at the age of 15, Mia Abu-Jamal, was sentenced to death for the wrongful conviction in a case of murder of a police officer in Philadelphia. He remains in jail 40 years later, having recently recovered from very, very serious health conditions, and historically, though, being denied access to medical resources in prison. I would say they're trying to criminalize journalism there. He was a journalist, a radio broadcaster. He's written many books from prison and has earned many degrees. Basically, an emblem of power in that he has ingested information and he communicates it. In other words, what is happening right now is another example of criminality in the face of informational threats that writers, journalists, circulators of information present. And a powerful people, that's dictated by whether or not they have access to this information. Just to boil all this down, this is a way to reinforce anti-democratic institutions by a country that claims they are an ample of it. Anyway, I was a little sidetracked. You relax. Do your thing. In other words, actually, it's very interesting to know one of the greatest political celebrities of this day and age is Noam Chomsky, originally a linguist. Right? What does that mean? He studies, deconstructs, analyzes, discusses language. There is power and there is politics in language. And here we see the U.S., putting in front of Julian Assange the possibility of 175 years of solitary confinement, the same prison that hate preacher Abu Hamza, someone who had organized a terrorist training camp for Fly Oregon. He's in that prison as well. What does that say about the government's attitude towards journalism? He's now being held in the same prison that actually Abu Hamza was in before he was extradited to the United States. He's in prison with one of the most notorious pedophiles in human history. And he faces consequences like this, Julian Assange, because of his circulating information. He is a journalist, and the assault on journalism here is an attempt to reinforce tyranny. And that is what is at stake.
Thank you so much. Okay, Andrew, are you ready? Oh, okay, Jordan's next. Get on up here, girl. So
wars?
What for?
What for?
Who for?
Who for?
All dying.
All dying.
No trying.
No trying.
No more fighting. No more crying. No more dying. Let's start trying. Trying ahead. Let's end damn war. End the damn war. Damn war. End the damn war. War criminals. The goddamn media. All them lobbyists. Whole damn Congress. Got me screaming damn war. End the damn war. Damn war. End the damn war. Say it with me. Damn war.
Damn war.
End the damn war.
End the damn wars.
Damn war. End the damn war. One more time. Damn war. End the damn war. Damn war. End the damn war. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great day. Okay. Hello? Okay. We're going to have Brian Winters now. Come on, Brian. Okay, you got to get loud. Otherwise, I'm going to push it in your face. Come on. All right. You're going to be loud.
Can everybody hear me? All right, who wants to end the damn war? Who wants to end mass incarceration? Who wants to end poverty? All right, Martin Luther King identified these things because they're all interconnected. We got to address them. We got to address them together. We can do that. We can do that by unionizing as voters. We can come together as a block of people, an American union. Come check out my people over there. There's a lot more literacy. So we've got the goal is to build a block. 3.5% of Americans as a block of swing voters willing to vote for either Republicans or Democrats. Put this legislative package on the president's desk before the midterm. If they put it on his desk, if they are willing to end poverty, end mass incarceration, and end the endless wars, we can re-elect them. If they refuse, we can vote them out.
Speak up. Speak up.
3.5%. 3.5%. That's what we need. Third parties don't work. Third parties need like 35 or 40% of the vote. 3.5% of the block of swing voters. We can control the balance of power in Washington. We can decide who will control Washington. That gives us leverage over them. That is for them to pass on behalf of the people. We don't trust them with their words. We don't trust them to write any legislation that the lobbyists get all their hands over it and Washington's a swamp. So we can crowdsource our own legislative package for the people. End poverty by universal basic income. $300 a week for adults, $100 a week, $100 a week for kids. And he lifts single American up above the poverty line. We end mass incarceration by ending the federal drug war and prison reform. We end the endless wars by downsizing the military to require 10% cuts for the next 4 years, cutting our nuclear stockpile in half. And by putting them together, into one legislative package, it's one take it or leave it offer for Congress. And they're all three bastards who want to use their jobs to spoil our term. The American Union is a new political structure. I don't need any permission from anyone. I don't need any changes to existing laws. I just need a better way to organize outside of the two-party system by unionizing and closing. Come over to the table and I'll more information, sign up for our email list, and run how about this. Until change 2022 by the United States. Thank you.
Okay, here we have Andrew.
shoulders of giants being here today. Me and my friends have been trusted to carry the name of Julian Assange to the public. We have our own YouTube show that we've ran for 2.5 years, organizing people, content creators. But that's not the largest or the only shoulder that we stand on. There was a gentleman who was one of the most prolific civil rights and free speech activists, one of the greatest anti-war activists that this nation's ever seen. And just to be clear, what we're doing here today with End the Damn Wars, it doesn't start here, it hasn't started here, and it will not end here. Because this is just the very beginning of what we are trying to achieve in this country. This is the very beginning of decentralized civic action on issue-specific bases. Whether we, Julian Assange, which I lead, the March for Medicare for All, the Movement for a People's Party, End the Damn Wars, Force the Vote, or so many other issues that we've seen organically start up. Right, but this next speech was given over 50 years, almost 50 years ago by a man most of us probably have heard of by the name of Martin Luther King. As we stand here on our list of demands, part of that is the ending of the targeting by the intelligence agencies and police departments of anti-war activists across the country and the world. Martin Luther King, in no small part, was literally the greatest civil rights activist this nation's ever seen. The marches that he led have not been replicated, repeated, and the words that he's spoken still ring more true today than when he was fighting for them back then. So although this one event is built around the idea of ending the damn wars, the movement that we are building is creating the next civil rights campaign in America. Whether it takes us a decade, whether it takes us 10 days, we will not give up and we will not back down. So these next words I'm going to read to you are words which got Martin Luther King killed. A lot of people don't know this, or maybe they do, but the FBI threatened Martin Luther King. They rigged cameras up in his hotel room, planted a honey trap, and blackmailed him for having sex with a partner that wasn't his wife. They said, hey, we need you to stop organizing poor whites and poor blacks and shut the fuck up and get off the stage. These are the words that Martin Luther King said in response to that when the federal government issued an injunction to him when he was in Memphis, Tennessee, to try to stop him from organizing with poor white folks. All we say to America is be true to what you said on paper. If I lived in China, Russia, the United Kingdom, New Zealand, or Australia, or any other totalitarian country, I could understand these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest for rights. And just as I say that we're not going to let any intelligence agents or propaganda turn us around, we will not let any domestic terror legislation turn us around. And I don't know what will happen now. We've got difficult days ahead, but it really doesn't matter with me now. Because I've been to the mountaintop, and I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He has allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over, and I have seen the promised land. And I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight, and I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. My eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. Those were the final public words spoken by Dr. Martin Luther King in direct defiance of the United States intelligence agencies. words are not dead. Nothing about what he dreamed for is dead. It is our time. As I look across the crowd, I don't mean to stereotype, but the majority of us here are white. And let that ring true, because now is our time to build. Now is our time to change. And I need each and every person here to go home and organize her. I need everyone to build your communities, not to build back better of Joe Biden and the globalists, but demanding that our communities work for our community. So as we wait for the final speakers to arrive, I just want to thank everyone for coming out today. But there's one other special person I need to thank. There's a woman who probably won't come up here and say any words. There's a woman who has worked tirelessly, literally blood, sweat, and tears to make this happen. And that is Kimber Maddox. So if we can give her a big round of applause for everything that she has done to make this possible.
Alright, hi guys. I'm not much of a public speaker, but there is something I wanted to say because it is important. One thing that Andrew touched on were the intelligence agencies. And, you know, we hear about them in passing and, you know, like all the great things that they do. And we somehow keep managing to forget all of the crimes that they've committed, all of the leaders that they've murdered, not just abroad, but obviously here in the United States. We had Martin Luther King Jr., who was assassinated. We had a sitting U.S. president assassinated. We had Fred Hampton assassinated. And they didn't go away. They're still here. They're still doing the same things that they've always done, just in the shadows. And I think what's really important is knowing that we cannot have an anti-war movement if we do not also have a movement that holds our intelligence agencies accountable and the war criminals accountable. So I wanted to make sure that we had an anti-war movement that was bipartisan, because one way that they get to us is they turn us against each other. And we had that a lot this time. We had people on the left and the right saying, why are you working with those people? They stand for this, they stand for that. I'm like, I don't care. Are they anti-war? Then come. That is what we need to build. So thank you guys. This is not our last action. This is our first action. We needed to make sure that people know who we are, what we stand for. We have a list of demands that we had all of our coordinators, whether they were a part of the Libertarian Party or whether they were just somebody who wanted to organize something on their own, said as long as you abide by these lists of demands that we can all get behind, then let's do this. And so we are about policies, we are about the issues, we are not about infighting, I don't give anything about your personal politics. Let's just end the damn wars, keep our goals, let's just keep our eyes on the prize, and remember that we cannot do this unless we go after the intelligence agencies. They will continue to infiltrate us, they will continue to divide us, and we will have to stay together, because it is together that we will win this. So thank you guys.
I see Magnus coming. Come and bring some magic. I'm really proud to see everybody out here. I'm really impressed that I've spoken to socialists, I've spoken to libertarians, I've spoken to anarchists, I've spoken to leftists, I've spoken to everybody. Soccer moms. We've all come out here together, and we've shown that this is possible. When we organized this event, we had so many people tell us, you really think you can get people from the LP and the Green Party together and they not fight like cats and dogs? We did in Arizona. That's going on right now. People said that you couldn't get the LP and the People's Party in the same place. We have representatives from both parties here. We have a broad sweep of every ideology, of every belief. This proves that this is possible. And to me, this is what they fear the most. Anyone, whether it be Fred Hampton, Martin Luther King, or several others in history, that dared to reach across political lines and actually accomplish something, was slandered or was murdered. This to me shows what they're most afraid of, is what I see right now. They do not want these conversations to happen. They don't want you to hear these people speak. They want you to stay in your bubble. They want you to stay online. They only want to talk to people you agree with. If you talk to people you disagree with, they just want you to fight. They want you to hate each other. They want you to cause internal strife and conflict. But when they see this, when they see people coming together in unity over single issues, it terrifies them. And I want to thank every single person who showed up today for starting that, for participating in that, and I hope you take it home with you. When you organize something, I want you to reach out to your local parties that you might not have thought would show up. I want you to reach out to your organizers from organizations you might have never spoke to before. In Arizona, the head of the Libertarian Party there reached out to the Green Party and asked if they showed up. The Green Party responded, "Why did you take so long to ask?" That was the first time they had spoken in years. Two third parties in the same state, agreeing on so many things, had never spoken together before this event. I want you to take that energy home. I want you to build coalitions. I want you to bring change. Thank you so much for showing up. We're waiting on Max to show up. Once he gets here, he'll speak, and then we're going to start this march. Appreciate it. Actually, something we can do really quick. I want to get a group photo with everybody up here in front of the End the Damn Wars banner. I want everybody up here. We get us all pictured together. And then we'll get one in front of the truck as well.
Come on, everybody! Also, while we still have an event here, we have one more action tomorrow outside of the British Embassy and the Vice President's mansion. We will be protesting for freedom of the time, so if you're able to make it, we will be outside. Also, sorry, one more. We have extra shirts Okay, everybody, go set your bags up.
Yesterday, is that your phone or what?
We get shorter people in the front, taller people in the back. Pull that forward, let us know when we're all in frame.
Okay.
Let us know when we're ready.
We're gonna give everybody one big End the Damn Wars together. 3, 2, 1. End the Damn Wars!
Okay, now we're going to the truck.
Get to the truck.
Hey, man.
How's
Sorry
it
we
going?
haven't been able to get together. We got
Oh, that's fine.
We got to.
I know a lot comes up and all that.
Yeah, because now I'm doing the LA show too and everything now. So
Yeah.
I'm doing so much, but give me a buzz. I do want to get back on your show.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got your number, so I'll hit you
Okay,
up.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Let's join it. Let's go to the truck.
You guys want the sign in the picture?
1, 2, 3. End the damn wars! That's such perfect timing. Okay, everybody go up. We have a very important speaker.
You want to talk? You want to talk?
Thank you.
Next time.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll have something prepared next time. A fire ass seat.
There's somebody, once you're off camera, there's somebody I want you to meet.
Okay.
You probably know her, but just as a...
Alright, sounds good. I probably said hi to her.
Okay. Okay, everybody to your places.
Yeah, I talked to them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
For me, this next speaker is very important. Because watching him, yes, I have no clue what our country was until somebody made me watch his show. And it was devastating when it started finding out. He's just setting up a How's it going?
Hey man. Hey, how you doing? Good. See a lot of the same faces at like all the events that are here. Yeah, good. I'm glad you're here to record it all. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I see that you're recording too.
Is the audio coming through on yours?
They said they had some issues with all the music back there.
Excuse me, Mr. Ice.
So I got closer here, and I guess it's better now. Cool.
Thank you.
The people watching right now, they are planning to march to the White House, but the thing they're waiting for right now is Max Blumenthal is going to speak first, and I think they're waiting on him to like set up a live stream on stage. So just sort of stand by in case it feels like that time right now. Just to be clear, that's what's going on. So they have one more speaker, and then they are marching to the White House. Holy crap. I think the way I would do it is try to tag them, even if you don't want to tag them like
Just waiting for Max Blumenthal to finish setting up, and then after that, we're gonna go march to the White House.
dog eating.
down. All right, I gotta speak louder. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna say. I just found out about, my boy Scott Horton just invited me down. I was just streaming at Moderate Rebels, interrupted the stream, and came down because I think it's so important to remind people about what it was like to be here, to be in the U.S. on 9/11/01, and how isolated those of us who were anti-war actually were at the time. What a terrifying atmosphere it was here, and how many millions have been killed because of the hypnotic spell and the media mass formation that prevented us from stopping these catastrophic wars, and we're still feeling the effects. What else? What other anniversaries? What else happened on 9/11? Well, the murder of Salvador Allende, a elected socialist president in Chile, murdered by a CIA plot under the watch of Henry Kissinger. Also on 9/11, the killing of Christopher Stevens. Who is Christopher Stevens? In Benghazi. He was at the U.S. consulate. He was the U.S. ambassador to Libya. What was he doing at the U.S. consulate in Benghazi? Why was Christopher Stevens there? Hope you all can hear me still. He was there because after Gaddafi was murdered by another U.S. dirty war, very similar to what happened in Black September in Chile. He was organizing the shipment of the arms looted from the Libyan military's armed depots to the so-called moderate rebels, the CIA-backed mercenaries in Syria. That's why he was in Benghazi. He was working with the CIA-backed, Al-Qaeda-affiliated Libyan Islamic fighting group to organize shipments of weapons to Syria to launch another dirty war. This is the legacy of 9/11. It happened on 9/11. That story has been covered up. Let's remember what it was like after 9/11, on the day of 9/11, when the #1 drive time radio host, Howard Stern, was announcing it live and calling for chemical weapons attacks and nuclear attacks on the Middle East on primetime radio. He sounded like any of the crazy Bush neoconservatives, but this is our drive time host. Days later, Dan Rather, remember, the top broadcast media personality on the news every night, went on David Letterman and said, we need to take many casualties to fight a permanent war. We need to take out all these other countries that are involved. This isn't about fighting terror, it's about fighting an entire people who are evil. And Dan Rather even said, as Donald Trump later did, told the big lie that Arabs in the United States were celebrating on rooftops, leading to the massive campaign of anti-Arab discrimination, of the murder of even Sikh people in the U.S. who were looking like Arabs, and of the campaign of Islamophobia and the targeting of Muslim American leadership. It was our mainstream broadcast personalities who brought us that campaign of hate and these permanent wars, and they were being directed by the Bush administration. We need to remember that people who are advising the Democrats today, people who are in the Democratic Party firmly embedded or were celebrated on MSNBC, like William Kristol and Robert Kagan, had concocted a project for a new American century before 9/11 to lay out the plan to destroy not just Iraq, but Syria, and then to target Iran, a project of the United States today. We need to remember that these neoconservatives marched into the Pentagon and demanded, after Al-Qaeda attacked the U.S., that the U.S. take out 7 countries in 5 years, and that those countries have been taken out, down to Sudan, which was targeted in a color revolution last year and now has formal relations with Israel. Their plan has come to fruition. Millions have died. The Middle East is in a state of catastrophe, and yet people in the Middle East and people in the United States are still resisting. We saw people in the Gaza Strip stand up to Israeli terror this year with homemade weapons and deal a bloody nose to the U.S.-backed Israeli apartheid regime. We see people in Yemen standing up against the U.S. campaign of terror, defeating solidly, smashing in the face the largest importer of U.S. weapons, the monarchic Saudi regime that was directly implicated in the 9/11 attacks. Directly implicated. We see people resisting against the wars the dirty wars. People are standing up in Venezuela. Bolivia has reversed the coup. People are standing up in Nicaragua. And you all are standing up right here because we remember the lessons when even parts of the left fell down after 9/11. When Thomas Friedman, the liberal media, called for smashing a country in the Middle East just because we need to do that. And so we need to wake people up now because this is a new crisis is upon us. And the left is not only silent, large parts of the left are actually supportive of the official agenda. And we're talking about the new normal. The new normal where a new crisis is being exploited. A pandemic to massively expand presidential power. Anyone who watched Biden's speech 2 days ago should have been terrified by the mandates he's handing out. This is an expansion of the imperial presidency that liberals used to oppose. And so we see leftists who oppose segregation now supporting segregationist passports. We see liberals who claimed they supported civil rights now supporting massive crackdowns on civil liberties. We see liberals and leftists who say they're opposed to censorship now silent as YouTube censors any discussion of the new normal that's upon us. And we know this won't go well. We know this won't go well because of the lessons of 9/11, because our elites are always prepared to exploit any crisis. And if you know about the simulations that took place before the pandemic, it reminds me distinctly of the Project for a New American Century, the clean break document that the neocons conceived. They always have a plan. Where is our plan? Where is our plan to stand up for civil liberties? Where is our plan to oppose presidential power when a Democratic president is behaving more fascist than perhaps Donald Trump ever did? Where is our plan? Our plan starts today. And what we need to recognize with our plan is that people who have opposed these wars, people who are opposing this catastrophic new normal, have less in common, politically in many cases, than people who are hypnotized by the mainstream narrative. So you have libertarians, you have leftists, you have socialists, communists, anarchists, whoever. They may have less in common, but they get that something really wrong is happening. And what we need to do is unite against the common foe. Unite against the global predator class that is receiving new powers now. And we need to have unifying messages together. We can't be allowing ourselves to be divided when there are so many people hypnotized by this narrative and so many people in power who have unprecedented means at their disposal to crush us. So thank you for being out here today. Thank you for staying united. I really love the message and the damn wars. That's all we need to say right now because the war has come home. This is a class war on the people here. So let's keep fighting. Thank you.
Has everybody got your walking shoes on? All right, everybody, we're just breaking down our little things and setting them aside. We're going to be leaving very shortly. We have a designated path. We're going to be in the street marching with the truck. We're going to head down to Washington, D.C. Sorry, not Washington, D.C. We're going to head down to the White House. We're going to stand in front of the White House. We're going to scream at these warmongers, these murderers, these corrupt bastards. We're going to let them know we're here. We're going to call it a day. Thank you so much, and I'll call it when we're leaving. Woo!
Suicide attack, 13 more guys. Yeah, that sounds like a
Can I show your sign real quick? Can I show your sign? It's true. And they're hypocrites too when they go to those birthday parties. They tell us to put on the mask and everything, but then they have those maskless parties. So ridiculous. Huh? YouTube. Yeah. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, bro. How's it going? Good. Just yeah.
Talking some stuff over to Beverly Park because the people that were watching the stuff while we left didn't show up.
Oh. Yeah, I had to run real quick to put some more money in the parking meter. So I'm good now until like an hour from now.
I'm just waiting to see if it'll let me just rebuy the same spot. We will find out.
I wanted to look like we weren't even here. Thank you so much.
I'm glad that Max brought up something that other people weren't bringing up.
Yeah.
Like the Event 201 and the mandates, like all that's related.
Yeah. I didn't hear a lot of what they were saying, but that's kind of what led me and we were in a deep conversation just talking about all of this stuff and how it's like all related.
It's the same players involved.
Yeah.
And this is how they try to keep us powerless so that we don't have an uprising like this, to be more dependent and more enslaved by them.
Yeah, because what better time to like get the people who like the two sides of the my body, my choice movement, to work together.
Yeah.
I think that you like, and that's just one of the many different things, right? everybody's so divided that you can't even see that it's the same aisle at the same time.
Yeah.
Different aisles of the same side of the house, yeah.
It's insane. Oh snap, Combo Couch live now.
Oh.
They're in LA, yeah.
I think one is in LA, one's in Sacramento, I think Steve's in LA.
Steve is in Sacramento.
Yeah, and I think he also
Yeah, I saw when he started his live show. Good shit. Yeah, this is national event.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. I'm glad that is happening.
Yeah, like I'm seeing more consistent events happening, like the March for Medicare for All.
Yeah.
Now we have this.
Yeah.
Like earlier in the year we had the Force to Vote and the Assange protests, and we just have to keep doing it.
Yeah. We're doing
And
another one tomorrow.
oh yeah,
I mean,
I heard
there's
that
two,
there
there's
is
an Assange event by where,
in front of the British Embassy.
yeah, and then also there's like Code Pink.
The Code Pink event.
Funding to the Pentagon, I think.
Yeah. Who we're missing though? We have Max showed up, but Anya couldn't make it. Lee Camp's not here. Maybe they'll be at the ones tomorrow. Okay, I most likely can't.
Yeah, I can't tomorrow. Work. So I was lucky I didn't have today off. I think I'm gonna
It's just so funny to me over here, like the Peace Boat is just in front of Max and Garland. Is Max live streaming right now? Yeah, he's interviewing Garland. So that event is still happening back there. Eric Sapp, where's Rokana? Rokana is too busy not caring about this. He profits off of war. Just look at what Robbie Yeager, look at what his reports show about Rokana and his wife's finances and how they profit off of war. They're also profiting off of the pandemic too. Our so-called progressives, Justice Democrats, are profiting off of war. And you know, if AOC and Cori Bush and Ilhan Omar, if all of them are going to stay in Congress like this and not actually do anything to end these wars with the power that they have as legislators, then in a way they are also profiting off of this. Like, they don't want to go against their party leadership. By not going against their party leadership, they're enabling and allowing these wars to continue. Overall, to me, it looks like this is a good turnout that we got. Great stuff. Huh? Oh, I was talking to a couple people, and then I went over here and I made a couple comments. Bro, I'm glad that Max brought up, connected this all with the mandates and Event 201 and everything, how they get together and plan these things, just how they do with war. Oh, his speech? Oh yeah, he mentioned all that. But yeah, it's good to connect all that, because this is how they try to keep us from uprising. Yeah.
Because he wasn't really doing that.
Yeah, so now it's aiding in the investigation that people like Whitney and Brian Christian of the Last American Vagabond are doing, which we need more of that. And then it becomes more acceptable for some of the people who listen to more leftist shows, not so much the post-partisan like shows like the Last American Vagabond.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity for those people to learn and understand what's going on. Because if they see, oh, all my favorite channels aren't talking about it, so it's probably nothing I should worry about.
Yeah. I think we're ready to go.
Awesome.
Let me get Zach. Yeah.
Okay. Who's gonna lead the charge? Magnus?
Magnus and Zach.
Okay. Lost the what?
I put the sign down and I don't remember where I put it. I helped put stuff away. I was gonna...
Maybe somebody else grabbed it and they're like, oh shit.
It's probably just gonna live in a box somewhere. With the intent to take it off.
Hey, great speech.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I got something conversational and I realized
I'm independent. by
Independent.
myself, yeah.
I want to get a mic like that just so I can carry it around. And
Yeah.
give it shit, you know?
Yeah, it's helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's pretty good.
I'm gonna tell people
Hey Magnus, before we head out, you wanna share your thoughts of the event so far?
Yeah.
So what do you think about everything that went down so far? I liked what you had to say about unity. Like, how can you go against this movement, right? Anti-war protests, unless you're like, oh no, we're pro-war protests.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean that's kind of the point, and it's really funny too of what they do is they just slander anyone on the right that's here as left wingers in the right wing sphere, and then they slander the left wingers as right wingers. Even though we're all here together,
Yeah.
And definitely like DC and a bunch of extenuating circumstances, and then putting a festival right at our event without telling us hurt the turnout a bit. But in terms of people who spoke, people who come here, organizations, people party, Max Blumenthal, Carlin Nixon, like we have people from the LP here and everything. We have Olivia Rondell, she's with Larry Sharp. Like we brought this massive political spread into one place, and that's all I've ever been trying to do. Ever since I went on Jimmy Dore, ever since I did that thing, was create events like this.
Right.
You would have never imagined all these people standing together. Yet we're all here.
Yeah.
There's no fights or debates or arguments. Perfect.
Yeah, because like what could they debate about against war, right? But it's like you said, there's still all those different perspectives that come to an agreement, like different paths up the mountain, reaching there at the same location. And that's what I heard in the speeches, different perspectives about why the wars should be ended, from Medea Benjamin, from Max Blumenthal, from yourself, from Andrew, They brought up Assange. They brought up the historical aspect of 9/11. They even, I like how Max connected this to the mandates and how they're trying to keep us powerless in uprising, right? So it's excellent. We have to find these post-partisan issues that will unite the people, or will have them stand together in solidarity, right?
And definitely after this, I'm going to be going right into mandate protesting, and we're going to do another one of these in 6 months. And there'll probably be Assange events, and all of them unity messages. That's the goal. I'm not interested in standing around with just a bunch of Republicans or just a bunch of Democrats,
right?
Just a bunch of progressives. I want everyone we can. I want to build this together because there's so many people here. This is like the first time they ever heard Max speak, or the first time they ever heard an anti-war progressive, and maybe their minds are getting changed.
Yeah, they're like,
anti-war
oh, wow.
libertarian, maybe their minds are getting changed. And like I said in my last speech, I hope people take this home and they reach out to people. My other thing I was inspired by was in Ohio, they reached out to the GOP to speak at the Medicare for All march. They actually sent a representative because some people in the GOP are for Medicare for All. Most people wouldn't think to contact them.
Yeah.
But they did, and just more things like that, making the unity message more and more possible. That's more than anything what I'm trying to accomplish.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, sooner or like, I think pretty soon we'll get like that general strike that we all need. Yeah. But yeah, Magnus, man, thanks a lot for putting this together. You and Kimber also did an amazing job with the graphics and everything. When are we gonna get the next End of the Damn Wars event?
It's soft right now, but we're playing like 6 months.
Okay.
I just have to bounce though.
Yeah. Let's get it. Let's start the march.
I like the moving part. Yeah, me too.
Great speech. Yeah. And yeah, I'll change it. Sorry about that. It's what YouTube chose.
Yeah, I was looking at it like, oh, did he good coverage?
I'm sorry. Yeah. But yeah, thanks again.
There's a lot of bad photos out there that we have there anyway. But I'm getting so much photos.
It's great to see you again. I saw you on, it was Tuesday, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Watching your stream today.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I want to do more of that, converse with people and try to find points in which we can agree. Tomorrow I probably won't be able to go. I gotta spend time with the family and everything.
Yeah. Oh, did you see the new video of the drone again?
No, I haven't.
Well, the drone strike right after the bomb blast in the airport in Kabul. So, I mean, we all suspected they didn't really kill the ISIS people, right? But yesterday, the New York Times just came out with evidence they compiled from eyewitness and CCTV footage that shows that the guy that they killed and his family, they were just an aid worker. They didn't kill ISIS at all, contrary to what the Pentagon said. So they basically just killed an innocent man. He actually had applied for resettlement in the U.S. and they eviscerated his whole family. And this just came out yesterday.
I gotta check that out and talk about that. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that they do that.
It's still good to see what even
further confirms what we say, right?
Yeah, even though it's like history repeating itself, it's good to always, I mean, this proves what we've been saying, Max.
I see. Oh, that's your account, right? Because I followed it. Yeah, I was like, okay, because I saw the interview that you gave to the cop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Nice account, man. Pony Tauchi. Alright, I'm gonna get closer to the front.
Together, we'll be up at the front with the banners inside many of you know coming into your state, it's a bit of a madhouse right now. They put the roads blocked off, and spontaneous things that may happen. Just kind of stick with us. When we get to the White House, everything will go great. We'll have no issues, right? Maybe, possibly, one would hope. So yeah, I'll let you guys know when we're about to leave. It'll be a couple minutes tops.
It's pretty hot here, guys. How's it going?
Oh, hey, it's piggyback ride time. What's up, man? Buddy!
Yo.
I don't even. He likes to get up at restaurant tables.
Everyone's running to say hi. So the cops are waiting for us?
You don't care. Carrying enough.
Hey puppy. It's okay.
Next stop, the White House. We have extra signs up front. If you want a sign, we still have signs left.
All right, guys, the march starts now.
Okay, people. I know a lot of you are not candy types, but if I see you're not candy, I'm going to make fun of you. We're going to start off tonight. I'm going to name a country. You yell in the damn war. And show people how many countries are at it. Start off. Iraq.
End the damn wars! End the damn wars! End the damn wars! End the damn wars!
No extradition! Democracy looks like. Damn wars. Damn wars. Fuck the CIA. Fuck the FBI. Democracy looks like.
There's a festival.
Fuck the FBI! Fuck the FBI! Fuck the FBI! Fuck the FBI! Jail war criminals! Jail war criminals! Jail war criminals! Jail war criminals! This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Yeah, war. Fuck the FBI. Fuck the FBI. Fuck the CIA. Fuck the CIA. Fuck the NSA. Fuck the NSA. Fuck the DOJ. Fuck the DOJ. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Damn war. No war. Damn war. No war. Free Edward Snowden. Free Edward Snowden. Jail war criminals! Jail war criminals! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Defund what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Down wars, drone tours. Down wars, drone tours. No more news. No more news. No more news. No more news. No more drones. 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 No troops, no drones, no mercs, no tanks. 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 Woo! Can I get one? Real loud. Damn war! Drone tours! Damn wars! Drone tours! Tell me what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like! Hey Joe! Hell no! These fucking wars have got to go! Hey Joe! Hell no! These fucking wars have got to go! Hey Joe! Hell no! These fucking wars have got to go! Fuck the FBI! Fuck the CIA! Fuck the NSA! Defund the Pentagon! Defund the Pentagon! Drone tours! Damn wars! Drone tours! Free Julian Assange! Jail war criminals! Free Daniel Hale! Jail war criminals! This is what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like! Defund the Pentagon! Defund the Pentagon! Down with the Empire! 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 Keep our troops home! Keep our troops home! Biden! Biden! Fuck Trump! Fuck Trump! Down with the Empire! War! Drone tours! Down wars! Drone tours! Down wars! Drone tours! This is what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like! Damn wars! Drone tours! Fuck the FBI!
Can't tell if they agree over here. Can't tell if they're in agreement or if they're just annoyed. How's it going?
And the damn war! And the damn war! And the damn war! And the damn war! Yeah! Cold water's $1, water's $1. Soda guys, Gatorade, waters are $1. Stop the end with war. Stop the end with war. Down with the empire. Deploy Biden. Deploy Trump. Deploy Bush. Fuck the FBI. Fuck the FBI. Fuck the FBI. Fuck them in the eye. Fuck the NSA. Fuck the FBI. Fuck the CIA. Fuck the DOJ. Damn boy. Trump doors. Damn boy. Trump doors. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. And the damn war. No more. Trump doors. And the damn war. No more. Trump doors. NATO must dissolve. NATO must dissolve. NATO must dissolve. NATO must dissolve.
NATO must dissolve. NATO must dissolve.
NATO must dissolve. NATO must dissolve. All right, one more question. Little quote right in front of us. If war can be started by lies, it can be started by truth. If war can be started by lies, it needs to be started by truth. If war can be started by lies, it needs to be started by truth. If war can be started by lies, it
Peace can be started by truth. If wars can be started by lies, peace can be started by truth.
Show me what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like. Damn wars!
Drone tours! Damn wars! Drone tours! Defund the Pentagon! Defund the Pentagon! Fuck the FBI! Fuck the CIA! Fuck the NSA! Defund the Pentagon! Defund the Pentagon! This is what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like! Damn wars! World wars! 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 Defund the Pentagon! Defund the Pentagon!
Alright, so we're in front of the White House now. They have yellow tape giving us a distance from the actual building. This is the furthest we can go. Black Lives Matter Plaza is right there, and as you guys can see, there's not much going on anymore after a year, over a year since the murder of George Floyd. People are taking a water break.
Thanks for cooperating with us. Man, we'll be able to get over here. Does anybody know whether or not you guys are marching back? So that when you cut for not going to
Whereas otherwise they say you were just a mob, yeah.
No, we're not going to be marching back as a collective, but we probably will walk on sidewalks and stuff.
Great stuff.
Thanks, Al.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing up mandates.
Oh, yeah.
Mandates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I figured out a way to make it all out of cardboard. Thanks so much for coming. We got enough of cardboard and fiber last year.
All right, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. At this point, I will bring the video to an end. I gotta head back. My parking is about to expire, but I really appreciate you guys tuning in to watch this. I think it was a great day today. A lot of great things were said from different perspectives, and I hope, and I'm actually sure, that there will be more events like this going forward. More unity, more solidarity among the people, and I'm glad that people are actually taking action now rather than sitting back and hoping for politicians to solve our problems. But guys, you guys are the only ones that will save yourselves. Not anybody else, not a politician, not a journalist, not a commentator. We will bring you the news. We will inform you guys. Some of us will talk about solutions, but that doesn't mean that we will save you. You will save yourself. Right? You will take action to solve the problems of this country and the world. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay informed and end the damn wars. I love you all.